Have you ever poured your heart, soul, and time into someone only to be met with indifference or rejection? You gave everything, your energy, your affection, your undivided attention, but instead of appreciation, you got a cold shoulder. Let's be honest, it stings. It feels like everything you did was for nothing, and that rejection lingers, eating away at your confidence and self-worth. But what if I told you there's a way to turn things around? Not by chasing or pleading, but by harnessing the quiet power of silence. Today we're diving deep into how silence can be your ultimate tool to regain control, redefine your worth, and shift the dynamics in ways you never imagined. Stick with me, this is a game changer. The emotional fallout of rejection. Rejection isn't just a word, it's an experience that can leave you questioning everything. Was I not enough? Did I do something wrong? Why did she pull away? These thoughts creep in like shadows, growing darker the more you dwell on them. They spiral out of control, pulling you into a vortex of self-doubt and insecurity. And here's where most men fall into the same trap. They chase. They send desperate texts, hoping for some kind of reassurance. They make countless calls, pleading for a second chance. They try to explain themselves, thinking that if she only understood, she might change her mind. But here's the harsh truth. Chasing doesn't just fail, it backfires. Chasing pushes her further away. It's like trying to grab water with your bare hands. The tighter you grip, the faster it slips away. You see, desperation signals a lack of control, and nothing is less attractive. When you chase, you're essentially broadcasting one message loud and clear. My value depends on you choosing me. And that's where everything falls apart. So what's the alternative? Silence. Not the cold, punishing kind meant to hurt or manipulate, but a powerful, deliberate silence rooted in self-respect. Silence that says, I value myself enough to step back. Silence that allows you to reclaim your power. Because in that quiet, you begin to rebuild. This isn't about playing games or waiting for her to come crawling back. It's about showing, through your actions, that your worth isn't tied to anyone else's approval. It's about growth, letting go of what's slipping away and focusing on what you can control. Yourself. Why silence works, the psychology behind it. When you stop chasing and retreat into silence, something remarkable begins to unfold. At first, she might not even notice. She may even feel relieved, telling herself she needed the space. Why? Because she's become accustomed to your constant presence. Your texts, your attention, your care, they've been her norm for so long that they've started to blend into the background, almost like white noise. It's human nature. We don't notice what's always there until it's gone. But here's where the power of silence comes into play. Over time, the absence of your presence becomes impossible to ignore. She starts to notice the lack of your texts, the ones that used to check in on her or brighten her day. She starts to miss the thoughtful gestures that once made her feel valued. The care and consistency she had grown so used to now feel like a void. And as that void grows, something unexpected happens. She starts to reflect. Questions creep into her mind. Why hasn't he reached out? Is he moving on? Did I make the right decision? These questions spark curiosity and eventually a sense of longing. You see, silence creates space, not just for her to miss you, but for her to realize what she had with you. It interrupts the pattern of taking you for granted and shifts the dynamic. Suddenly, the attention she dismissed as ordinary feels extraordinary in its absence. And that's when the real shift begins. The silence isn't just the absence of words or actions. It's a powerful statement of self-worth. It signals that you're not someone who chases endlessly, but someone who knows their value and isn't afraid to walk away. Phase 1. The calm before the storm. Here's the kicker. At first, she won't even flinch. She'll throw herself into distractions. Nights out with friends, scrolling endlessly through social media, and immersing herself in surface-level activities. On the outside, it'll look like she's thriving, as if your absence hasn't even caused a ripple in her life. She'll post pictures that scream confidence, share stories filled with laughter, and give the impression that she's moving on without a second thought. But don't be fooled. This phase is deceptive. Beneath the surface, subtle cracks are beginning to form. The seeds of regret are being planted, even if they're not immediately visible. She might not realize it yet, but the shift is already underway. The consistency and attention you once gave her have left a void, one she's subconsciously starting to feel. For you, this stage can feel like walking through fire. Watching her appear indifferent, or worse, seemingly happy, can be gut-wrenching. It's in this moment that doubt starts whispering in your ear, tempting you to reach out, to break the silence, to fix things. But here's the truth. This is the ultimate test of your resolve. Most men falter here. They cave under the pressure, breaking their silence out of desperation, and in doing so, they undo all the progress they've made. Don't be that guy. Hold the line. Remember, your silence isn't about manipulating her or provoking a reaction. It's about reclaiming your power. It's a statement to yourself and the world that your worth isn't dependent on anyone else's validation. Stay strong during this phase, no matter how hard it gets. Her seeming indifference is temporary, but the self-respect you're building is permanent. Silence isn't a game, it's a testament to your growth and confidence. And trust me, this calm is just the beginning of the storm that's brewing. Phase 2. The cracks begin to show. As time ticks on, something subtle but profound starts to happen. Her confidence in her decision begins to waver. The initial high of freedom and independence starts wearing off, replaced by something far less satisfying, an undeniable sense of absence. She reaches for her phone instinctively, expecting to see your name lighting up her screen. But it doesn't. There's no message, no missed call, no sign of you. The silence is deafening. Then come the triggers, those seemingly insignificant moments that carry the weight of shared memories. A song that once played in the background of your time together suddenly stops her in her tracks. A place you both used to visit feels oddly empty, despite being filled with people. An old photo she stumbles across while scrolling through her gallery brings back emotions she thought she'd buried. These reminders, no matter how small, hit harder than she could have anticipated. This is when the void you've left becomes unmistakable. At first, it's just a gap in her daily routine, a missing text, a phone call that doesn't come. But as the days turn into weeks, it morphs into something far deeper. It's no longer about habit or routine. It's about a growing emptiness that she can't ignore, no matter how hard she tries to distract herself. She begins to question everything. Did she make the right choice? Why does it feel like something is missing? And more importantly, why does she find herself wondering about you when she was so sure she wouldn't? The power of your absence lies in this exact moment. It's no longer just about what you brought to her life. It's about what your silence is teaching her. The void isn't just a lack of your presence. It's a reflection of the value you brought. A value that no distraction, no social outing, and no surface-level pleasure can replace. Phase 3, the power of your absence. Here's the thing about silence. It's not just the absence of noise. It's a statement. It says, I know my worth and I won't settle for less. This quiet confidence is magnetic. It forces her to confront the reality of life without you. And while she's busy grappling with regret, you're focusing on something far more important, yourself. This is your moment to grow. Hit the gym, pick up a new skill, reconnect with friends and family, and rediscover the things that make you who you are. Remember, silence isn't about waiting for her to come back. It's about proving to yourself that you don't need her validation to thrive. Phase 4. By now, the dynamic has shifted entirely. What started as relief for her has turned into discomfort, then regret, and finally a deep sense of loss. She begins to compare others to you, realizing that what she dismissed wasn't ordinary, it was irreplaceable. Every failed attempt to fill the void only reinforces the value of what she lost. For you, this phase is a victory. You've resisted the urge to chase, you've grown stronger, and you've shown that your worth isn't defined by someone else's approval. This is where Stoicism comes into play. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, our thoughts, our actions, and our growth, and let go of the rest. Hit the like button if you're ready to take back control, and subscribe for more insights on Stoicism, relationships, and personal growth. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And in the comments, let me know, what does your silence mean to you? Silence isn't weakness, it's strength. It's not about punishing her, it's about empowering yourself. By staying silent, you're not just reclaiming your power, you're transforming into someone who commands respect and leaves a lasting impact. So stand tall, hold firm, and remember, the best is yet to come.